One of the most common questions is, what's the best diet for fibromyalgia? And as a practitioner and trainer specializing in fibro, working in gut health for many years in the clinic, I always say, and have said in our dietary articles for the last 10 years, that there's not one best diet. We're all different. We have different body and blood types. Most of all, those of us women over 50 with fibro and other co-conditions, we're concerned about our metabolism. We're concerned about being better at fat burning. We're concerned about reducing sugar cravings, because when you're in pain, when you're uncomfortable, right, it's easy to reach for the most accessible drug. So we don't believe in just, diets. In fact, we talk about dietary principles in our course, for example. It's more about, the method to the madness. If you're just saying, well, how many times do you try to stick to a food plan and you can't because of stress, because of pain, symptoms, high adrenaline dominance, high inflammatory response. So whatever diet we're trying to follow is going to be secondary. We can't put put the cart before the horse, so to speak. They're so true when it comes to diets. So how we've set up our course is there's a method to the madness. First, we're talking about things like identity, self-sabotage, how to prevent that. So you can do more, you follow a food plan that you want to, but also what's very unique about our food plan is it addresses some specific areas of digestion and metabolism that other diets don't. Again, I don't even say the word diet, but food plan. And it gives you flexibility, a lot of flexibility. But if you follow these dietary principles, you can improve your metabolism. So when people say or ask, what is the best diet for fibromyalgia? There's not one, because we're all different. But if you've been following our website for the last 10 years, here on the pages for the last 12 years, if you've ever heard me talk about it, it's really about everything we do in our course too, is getting really specific to those of us, especially us women with fibro, because it is 98% women to 2% men. I love when the men follow here on the page, but we're a little more specific to women because our bodies are different. We're different in our 50s than we were in our 20s and 30s, 60s and 70s, whatever age you are. It's more about addressing those specific nuances and elements in fibromyalgia. When a person or a woman living with fibro says she can't lose weight, or she just can't move, can't exercise, that's where, like I say, when you go to the doctor and your doctor tells you to just go exercise, that's where we come in. When you want to be able to stick to a food plan, that's where we come in. When you want to reduce your stress response, the inflammatory response, that's where we come in, especially in our 8-week signature course. So another thing, there's a myth that fibro is not inflammatory. Well, there are about a handful of inflammatory factors. There have been books written, articles written. People say all day long, fibro is not inflammatory. And that's so not true. We've stood against that for the last 10 years here online. We talk about the costochondritis, itis. That's an inflammatory symptom, one of the most common symptoms in fibro. Trigger points, which can occur all over the body, different than tender points, but they can interplay with tender points. Trigger points have the propensity to create inflammation. Are you like me and you've had chronic fatigue immune? When you have CFIDS, there's neuroinflammation, the propensity to. Okay, so there's different reasons, even in the gut, you might have inflammation. Irritable bowel syndrome. There's a lot going on. Obviously, fibromyalgia can be equal opportunity, can affect a lot of different areas of the body. But if you're one of those people, you're just frustrated with a lot of of living with fibromyalgia and its primary co-conditions, and you're just feeling stuck. You're feeling like you're not able to get under the symptoms. And like I said, even if it's the movement and the dietary and the self-sabotage issues, that's really what we address in our course. And I say dietary principles, not diets, because whatever you do, whatever you're doing today, you want to see yourself doing a month from now, a year, and 5 years from now. Not just get excited about something like a full-on keto diet, and then a week later I'm defeated, right? we don't want that. It doesn't work. And it may be fun being on that pink cloud for a minute, but if you can't sustain it, then you're just going to continually feel defeated. So a lot of people follow quote unquote keto diets and they're not necessarily in ketosis anyway. So what we've done is created a plan that helps, again, metabolism, and in a way that is doable. So if you're like, oh, I just have a hard time, I don't want to follow a food plan, I'm rebellious, I don't like to I don't want somebody telling me what to eat, I'm in pain, I want to eat whatever I want. Now food, it's easy to reach for food when we're uncomfortable, and it is the most accessible drug, right? But this isn't about perfection. We are human at the end of the day. So when you can follow these principles in our course, let's say more of the time, and we say strive for 5 days a week, then it's going to have an effect. It's like anything else. You don't have to do it every single day. You got to change it up a little bit. Saturday morning and you want to just go out for breakfast and just eat what you want. Yeah, that's cool. That's where there's flexibility. But it's also, again, addressing some different elements in digestion that's often missed. I see a lot of doctors and therapists and other people, whatever, dietitians, they don't really work with the gut. It's just different what they do. What I've done in the clinic, working in gut health, working in colon health, is really more specific, and to not only digestive disorders, but to those of us women who are living with either chronic pain or digestive disorders or issues in the gallbladder and the bile ducts. Often they're it's just what I see out there isn't helping people, or if it was, women with fibro wouldn't be struggling in this issue, in this area so much. If you are struggling with blood sugar, whether it's hypoglycemia or high blood sugar, because that's often vacillating. It's not, they're really one and the same. And if you're struggling with that, that's what we do too, because it all works together. So that's it. It's a big question. It's like, it's such like, what's the best diet for fibro? There's no one answer because we're so different. But what we've done in our course is create a method that is you can attain it, you can sustain it. Is that the word? And have fun doing it. That's what I find. Like people who've gone through our course, like, it's fun when I'm showing something in the kitchen and then somebody in the course comes and shows up the next day in the paid members group and shows, here, look what I made. It's just fun. And sharing it and say, yeah, people are doing it. They're getting excited. That's what it's about.